In 1850, Britain made a bet. Parliament wouldn't pay for it. The press mocked it. Most people thought it would fail. Two men had an idea anyway, an exhibition like nothing the world had ever seen. So they asked the British public instead. They didn't have to, but they did. Shopkeepers, clerks, factory workers, wives putting aside housekeeping money. Coin by coin, they paid for it themselves. They hired a gardener to design it. Joseph Paxton sketched it on a scrap of blotting paper. 5,000 workers built the Crystal Palace in 9 months, 3 times the size of St. Paul's Cathedral. On the 1st of May 1851, the doors opened. Queen Victoria opened it herself. Britain came to see what Britain had built. At first, tickets cost £1, a week's wages for most working families. So they cut the price to £1, and the whole country started moving. They didn't have to come, but they came. Churches sent their parishioners, employers sent their workers, and an 85-year-old woman walked from Cornwall, Mary Callinack, 270 miles, on foot, and the people too poor to make the journey, they walked to the railway tracks, just to watch the trains go by. Inside, all of Britain met itself. A duke standing next to a Lancashire mill worker, looking at the same machine. A Yorkshire schoolboy seeing a pineapple for the first time. A country girl saw a diamond worth more than her village, and full-grown elm trees inside the building. 6 million people came, a third of the entire population. The doors closed on the 15th of October. When the books were closed, there was a profit. £186,000, 25 million in today's money. They could have kept it. They didn't. They bought 86 acres in South Kensington and built museums for the public, schools for British scientists, a concert hall for the nation, and they opened the doors to everyone. Still standing, still free to enter. The Royal Albert Hall pays £1 a year in rent, 850 years left on the lease, and the surplus that's left still funds British research today. 3,000 British scientists, engineers and designers, funded since 1891. 13 of them won the Nobel Prize. 175 years later, British research is still being paid for by a coin a shopkeeper put in an envelope in 1850. The Crystal Palace itself didn't last. It burned down in 1936. The building is gone, but what they built with the surplus is still here. They didn't have to subscribe. They didn't have to walk from Cornwall. They didn't have to leave it for us, but they did anyway. Pooled what they had. Back something bigger than themselves. The British people have always known how to do this. This channel runs on the same bet. No sponsors, no advertisers, just ordinary British people backing it. Coin by coin, just like 1850. And the same instinct still builds the same way. To leave it for whoever comes next. Proudofus.co.uk/support. Be part of us. Be proud of us.